What's going on, everybody? My name's Zach. I'm a six-figure earner, and I'm going to take a close look at the 2024 election. Let's talk about the number one issue for many Americans, the economy. We're going to break down Harris's economy plan, Trump's economy plan, and then address some common misconceptions. When people talk about Trump and Kamala's economic plan, it's usually oversimplified in this way. Kamala wants tax cuts for individuals that are low income. She wants to help them out, while she taxes the ultra wealthy and makes them pay their fair share. Trump's tax plan, on the other hand, is usually oversimplified in this way. He wants to give tax breaks to his buddies that are billionaires and millionaires, while the rest of us struggle to get by day. But that's a massive oversimplification. Let's take a look on what's really going on. Let's start with Kamala's economic plan. Kamala's plan is to offer more government-funded programs. These programs include things like daycare, healthcare access, and other government-funded programs to help people in their day-to-day life if they don't have the means to do it for themselves. Now, these programs need funding, so the government has to find a way to fund these programs. Harris plans to do this by increasing taxes on businesses and high-income earners. Here's the misconception. A lot of people think this just applies to the ultra-rich and ultra-successful, massive businesses. This tax increase includes all businesses that are corporations, big and small. So that means the multi-billion-dollar Silicon Valley tech company, as well as the mom and pop restaurant in your neighborhood. That also includes the local mechanic who owns his own shop. Think of it like this. If there was a new tax bill that was proposed for athletes, but most people just hear it and it's portrayed to them as though only applies to NFL athletes. Most people that are rugby players, hockey players, high school basketball players think the tax is only for them, and so they may be all in on it. But when they read the fine print of the policy, they find out this covers all athletes, whether you're professional, whether you're a collegiate athlete, whether you're an amateur athlete, whether you just do sports for recreation. This tax applies to all of them. So in the same way, that's how this tax policy's somewhat been portrayed and understood by the American people. It applies to all corporate structures, regardless of how much the owner of the company makes, regardless of how big the company is, these tax increases affect them all. Now let's take a look at Trump's plan. The media often portrays his plan as a tax cut for all his billion-dollar buddies. While it's true that massive businesses will benefit, similar to Kamala's plan, his policy applies to all businesses, big or small. So if you're a small business owner that doesn't make a lot, policies still apply to you. His plan keeps the corporate tax at 21% rather than 28 to 30%. So whether you're running a Fortune 500 company or a local coffee shop, your business would see tax relief. That means that entrepreneurs and small business owners, even those just starting out, have less of a tax burden and more money they can reinvest into the growth of their business. So how do these different policies affect different groups? Under Harris's plan, people who plan on being employees the rest of their life, have no aspirations of starting their own business or an entrepreneur, they're definitely going to receive some short-term benefits. They're going to have easier access to government-assisted programs, but in the long term, this is what typically happens when you up taxes for corporations. You've got a company that's taxed. The company is now having to pay more money. Where is the first place that company is going to start to cut costs? Their overhead and the people they pay. If you work at a company that's being taxed, what are they going to do? Is the owner of the company going to say, I'm going to lower my wage in order to offset these taxes? No. The first person that's going to feel the impact is going to be the employee. The second person that's going to feel the impact is going to be the customer. What they're going to do is they're going to lower wages and they're going to up the price. So while you might receive more benefits from government-assisted programs, you'll likely see an increase in prices, a decrease in wages as these businesses try to adjust to this new tax structure. Now for business owners, that means a tax increase across the board. Small business, big business, and you're going to have to find a way to offset that extra cost. Under Trump's plan, large and small business owners see a tax cut and benefits when it comes to taxes to make it easier for them to reinvest back into their business. Now, for employees, what might that mean? That might mean increased wages, it might mean decreased costs. But to be honest, the owner of the company could say, I've got this extra money here, I'm going to put it into my wages. Or they could give it to their employees, or they could cut the cost and help the consumers and the employees out. Whether they'll do that or not is a different question, but at least they have that option. As a six-figure earner myself and a business owner, I'm looking to keep as much money in my pocket as possible so I can reinvest into my business and give money where I see fit, rather than the government saying, this is where we're going to put your money and we're going to fund this program that you may or may not disagree with. Now, what about you? When you hear these different policies, what group do you fall into, and where do you see the advantages for you as well as the disadvantages? Comment below. Let me know your thoughts.